A very good morning, dear students. Today's topic for discussion is abutment evaluation. It is a part of basic principles of fixed partial denture, and I am Dr. Srinivas from Department of Prosthodontics. As we all know that the management of partially edentulous or the completely edentulous individual in prosthodontics is can be managed in different ways. One among them is a fixed prosthesis. So, fixed prosthodontics can be defined as the branch of prosthodontics concerned with the replacement and restoration of teeth by an artificial substitute that are not readily removed from the mouth. I mean to say, which is permanently or securely luted with a material onto the prepared tooth. When it comes to the fixed partial denture definition, it is the partial denture that is luted or otherwise securely retained to the natural tooth or a root or an implant that furnishes or that gives the primary support for the processes is defined as fixed partial denture. The crown can be defined as the artificial replacement which covers all the surfaces of the tooth structure, prepared tooth structure. The crown is defined as an artificial replacement that restores the missing tooth structure by surrounding a part or all of the remaining structure with a material such as a metal, porcelain or combination of materials such as porcelain fused to metal. Whatever restoration we fabricate, whether it is a crown, inlay, onlay or post, any extracorporeal restoration we fabricate that will be attached or that will be luted on a prepared tooth, that is called abutment. So abutment is defined as the part of structure that directly receives a pressure, thrust or anchorage, or which gives the anchorage for the restoration. Or it can be defined as a tooth or a portion of tooth or that portion of dental implant that serves to support and retain the processes is defined as abutment. So today's topic will be on the abutment evaluation. Before we proceed with any fixed processes, we need to evaluate the abutment in certain aspect. So that topic, the content will be discussed as a part of our e-learning program in today's session. The fixed processes which is supported by the abutment will have three important components. They are retainer, pontic and connector. The retainer is a device which is used for the stabilization or the retention of a processes. I mean to say, the retainer will be the part of a fixed partial dentures which covers over the prepared portion of the abutment tooth, or it can be defined as a part of fixed partial dentures that unites the abutment to the remaining parts of the processes is called a retainer. Whereas pontic is defined as an artificial tooth on fixed partial dentures that replaces a missing natural tooth or restores its function and usually fills a space previously occupied by the clinical crown is called pontic. Whereas connector is defined as that portion of fixed partial dentures that unites the retainer and pontic. So all these three components like connector, pontic and retainer are collectively called as a bridge or the fixed processes. Any extracorporeal restoration that includes either simple inlay, onlay or the crown or a complex full mouth rehabilitation need to follow certain procedures in a sequential manner. That includes the case history. In that, the abutment evaluation plays a major role. So based on the abutment evaluation, the prognosis or the success of the fixed uplines is determined, followed by the tooth preparation, gingival retraction or the tissue management, the impression techniques or the impression procedures, the temporization or the provisionalization, shade selection and special consideration or the clinical situations. So out of all these different clinical procedures, the topic about the abutment evaluation will be continued from now onwards. That includes crown root ratio, root configuration, anti-slam, endodontic status, periodontal status, orthodontic status, mobility, caries, and tilt of abutments, and the different modes of management of tilted abutments. The first aspect is crown root ratio. Generally, this crown root ratio is evaluated with the help of radiograph, which gives clear-cut visualization of the configuration of the root and the length of the root which is embedded in the bone. It is the measurement of tooth from occlusal or incisal to the alveolar crest, and which is compared with the tooth length or the root embedded in the bone. So as a part of the comparison of crown root ratio, two parts of the crown which is supported with three parts or three portions of the root is considered to be one of the most favorable condition for the selection of abutment. Generally, this type of combination, that is 2:3 ratio, is a clearly evident with well-maintained oral hygiene conditions. But whereas the individuals who has the compromised periodontal condition, that is loss of crestal bone, sometimes may land up with a 1:1 ratio. The one portion of the coronal structure is supported with the remaining portion of the root, which is embedded in the bone with one proportion, that is 1:1 ratio. This 1:1 ratio is also considered sometimes. The indications for 1:1 crown ratio is very minimal. Say for example, if the opposing dentition or the opposing arch is having artificial dentition, this 1:1 ratio is acceptable because the amount of masticatory load or chewing forces generated with artificial dentition is comparatively lesser than the natural dentition. And 1:1 ratio is also indicated if the opposing arch is having a compromised periodontal condition, but it need to be stabilized properly. The second aspect is the root configuration, which is generally observed in the radiographic evaluation. Well separated, bifurcated or trifurcated roots will have more of a perisegmental area or periodontal area rather than the conical roots or fused roots. In the same manner, assessment of the root configuration in a cross-sectional point of view, always the anterior teeth will have a rounded or oval shaped root configuration than the premolars and molars, which shows the wider or broader root configuration. So based on the length of the root, their configuration or the dilaceration or the separation of the roots, as well as the cross section of the root, which we can assess the amount of support we can expect from that particular abutment. The third important aspect is the consideration of the perisegmental area or periodontal membrane, which is very well defined by Andy's law. This particular definition or the description is important for theory examination point of view as well as in the viva voice. According to Andy's law, the total periodontal membrane or perisegmental area of an abutment teeth should be more or at least equal to that of the teeth to be replaced. This is considered in so many ways. This is one of the primary criteria of the selection of the abutment teeth. Accordingly, one missing teeth can be successfully replaced with the two healthy abutments. The clinical situation like a missing first molar can be replaced successfully with the second premolar anteriorly and second molar posteriorly. The combined width of perisegmental area or periodontal membrane of this both the abutment definitely will be greater than the teeth to be replaced. On the other hand, replacing two teeth with two abutments, one in anterior and another one is in posterior segment, will have a limited approach. This particular approach is acceptable in certain situations like if abutment teeth periodontal condition and endodontic condition is very well maintained and very well stable, as well as the opposing arch is having an artificial dentition. This particular approach is acceptable. The replacement of multiple missing teeth with very minimal abutment tooth or only two abutment teeth is a totally unacceptable situation. Violating the Antis law and continuing the case with this type of clinical situation definitely compromises the alveolar bone support or the periodontal support of the abutment teeth. After a period of time, definitely the bridge failure can happen. To conclude, the total or combined perisegmental area of a proposed abutment teeth should be greater or at least equal to that of teeth to be replaced. This particular aspect is important when we plan for the posterior teeth replacement. But if clinical situation is something favorable, like a replacement of lower anteriors with a missing two central incisors and two lateral incisors, that can be very nicely planned with the support of two canines on the either side. But need to be considered the occlusion, the designing of the occlusion in proper way, considering the overjet and overbite and avoiding the lateral contacts or the horizontal contacts in the lateral expressive movement will maintain, can give a proper prognosis for the proposed design of the processes. The assessment of the perisegmental area or periodontal ligament area was very well proposed by Jepson A in 1963 by observing the various configurations of the root surfaces or the dentition. He has given a tabular form of both maxillary and mandibular dentition of anterior and posterior segment. Out of all these teeth, the maxillary first molar, which is having a 3 roots, will carry the maximum perisegmental area that includes around 433 square millimeters. So based on this particular table, we can assess the expected amount of support from the proposed abutment. Abutment evaluation with the help of Antis law is carried out only after the proper establishment of the periodontal health of an abutment teeth. So occlusal forces need to be maintained. If any orthodontic intervention is required, that has to be carried out, and only after the proper stabilization of the periodontal as well as the endodontic status, this Antis law supposed to be implemented. With this, we have finished the part of abutment evaluation that includes the root configuration, crown root ratio, and Antis law. The next section will have the assessment of orthodontic condition or the endodontic status, as well as the management of tilted molars or the tilted abutments. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.